friends, welcome to this 17th chapter on disaster management. Friends, before we go further, I must underline the importance of disaster management. It is a very important chapter from the exam point of view, and every year you can expect one or two questions on disaster management. In fact, in the last 8 or 9 years, there have been 15 questions from disaster management, and the name of the book also contains disaster management. So this is a very important topic, and you can expect at least one or two questions in the exam related to disaster management. Friends, I'll take 1 or 2 minutes to discuss a few questions. In 2020, there was a 15 marks question. Discuss the recent measures initiated in disaster management by the Government of India, departing from the earlier reactive approach. Then there was a question again in 2019. Vulnerability is an essential element for defining disaster impact and its threat to people. How and in what ways can vulnerability to disasters be characterized? Discuss different types of vulnerability with reference to disasters. This is again a 10 marks question, 2019. Another question was that in 2019, disaster preparedness is the first step in any disaster management process. Explain how hazard zonation mapping will help in disaster mitigation in case of landslides. So friends, you have seen that so many questions have been asked on disaster management. Now in this disaster management topic, we have divided into 2 chapters. Chapter 17 is disaster management part 1 and 18 is disaster management part 2. In 17, we discuss about hazards and theoretical aspects of disaster management such as hazard, vulnerability, exposure, disaster risk, disaster management life cycle, disaster risk reduction, and so on. We also discuss some of the individual disasters, for example, cyclones, tsunamis, and so on, their causes, their distribution in India, and their mitigation and prevention strategies. So, friends, this chapter, in chapter 17, that is disaster management part 1, we start with defining hazards, vulnerabilities, exposure, disaster risk. After that, we define the types of vulnerabilities. There was a question you have seen on types of vulnerabilities. Then we go on to define what is a disaster, what is disaster risk, what is capacity, what is the significance of vulnerability and risk assessment. There was a question I just mentioned. Then we go on to define disaster risk reduction. These days, DRR or disaster risk reduction is a buzzword. And then we go on to define disaster management life cycle. Friends, then we go on to the various types of disaster. If you see the previous year's questions, you cannot answer the questions unless you are thorough with each of these kinds of disaster. For example, I have dealt with the next topic is earthquakes. Now just see the question on earthquake. The frequency of earthquakes appears to have increased in the Indian subcontinent. However, India's preparedness for mitigating their impact has significant gaps. Discuss various aspects. 2015, 12.5 marks. Then again, so we have again discussed landslides. Just see the question on landslides. In 2019, which I have just said, how hazard zonation mapping will help in disaster mitigation in case of landslides. It was a 15-mark question in 2019. Another question on landslides, that is the Himalayas are highly prone to landslides. Discuss the causes and suggest suitable measures for mitigation. 12.5 marks question in 2016. There was yet another question on landslides. Bring out the causes for more frequent landslides in the Himalayas than in the Western Ghats. 2013, 5 marks. After landslides, friends, we move. So if you read the chapter, you will be able to answer all these questions. We have a box on flash floods in Uttarakhand in February 2021, recent. Thereafter, we move to tsunamis. There was a question on tsunami a few years back. In 2017, 15 marks question. The question is on December 2004, tsunami brought havoc in 14 countries including India. Discuss the factors responsible for occurrence of tsunami and its effect on life and economy. In the light of guidelines of NDMA, describe the mechanism for preparedness to reduce the risk of such events. Friends, you see that unless you understand these disasters in depth, and their causes, their effects, consequences, and mitigation and prevention strategies, you will not be able to answer these questions. So if you go through the chapter, I'm sure you'll be able to learn these things to us in deep. After tsunami, we go to cyclones. There have been questions on cyclones also in the exam. Then we go on to, we have a box on naming of tropical cyclones. This year the list has ended and India has, and then a new list has been prepared for naming of tropical cyclones. So there is a box on that. And then there is the next topic is floods. Friends, there have been floods, a question on floods. For example, in 2016 there was a 15 marks question on floods. In what ways can floods be converted into a sustainable source of irrigation and all-weather inland navigation in India? Then again there was a question on floods in 2016, 12.5 marks question. Major cities of India are becoming more vulnerable to flood conditions. Discuss. There was yet another question on urban floods. So the question on urban floods was in 2016. Again 12.5 marks. The frequency of urban floods due to high intensity rainfall is increasing over the years. Discuss the reasons for urban floods, highlighting the mechanism for preparedness to reduce the risk during such events. Friends, after floods and urban floods, we move to cloudbursts. There was a question earlier on cloudbursts as well. With reference to the National Disaster Management Authority guidelines, discuss the measures to be adopted to mitigate the impact of recent incidents of cloudbursts in many places of Uttarakhand. 2016 12.5 marks. Friends, after cloudbursts we move to droughts. There was a question on drought as well. Drought has been recognized as a disaster in view of its spatial expansion, temporal duration, slow onset, and lasting effects on vulnerable sections. With a focus on the September 2010 guidelines from the National Disaster Management Authority, discuss the mechanism for preparedness to deal with El Nino and La Nina fallouts in India. Friends, to answer this question, you have to understand the causes of drought and how El Nino and La Nina impacts drought. What are the mitigation strategies, friends? In this chapter, I have dealt extensively with all these topics so that you will be easily able to answer this question if posed in the exam. Friends, after droughts, we move to forest fires. There can be a question on this. Often we hear of forest fires in India and other places of the world. Then there is a section on thunderstorms and lightning. There has been no question yet, but still it's a topic of importance. There has been a section on cold wave. I have added. Then there is a section on industrial and chemical disasters. There is a section on nuclear and radiological emergencies. There is also a section on biological and public health emergencies. You know, this year COVID has been a biological and public health emergency, and this topic is related to that. Though we have a separate chapter we have seen on COVID, the earlier chapter on COVID. We also have a box on locust attacks because last year it was in news. So I have added a box on locust attacks. We end the chapter with a list of table of nodal ministries for management and mitigation of different disasters. Friends, I hope you enjoyed the disaster management part 1, that is chapter 17.